White Day, a Labyrinth Named School, originally released on the PC on the 5th of September 2001 by developer Sonori. The game became a cult classic, and due to this, warranted 2 separate remakes. The first released onto mobile phones in South Korea in 2009, and then was followed by a worldwide mobile phone release in 2015. This version found its way to PS4 and PC in August of 2017, featuring updated graphics and gameplay. Now, it's been 5 years since then, and the game is coming back for another outing, this time to PS5, Nintendo Switch, and Xbox Series X and S, releasing on September 8th, 2022. For those that have no idea what White Day is, I'll try and fill in some blanks. Starting in Japan in 1978, and then being adopted across Eastern nations like China, Korea, Taiwan and Vietnam, White Day takes place on the 14th of March, a month after Valentine's Day, and the idea is to give a gift back to someone that gave you one on Valentine's Day. Over there, women give men gifts on Valentine's Day, and White Day is our day to give it back.
Is my dick in a box?
The game, White Day, a Labyrinth Named School, sees our protagonist Hee-min break into school after hours to return his crush's diary and give her a box of chocolates. Little does Hee-min know that entering the school, he'll encounter killer janitors, more ghosts than the 2001 masterpiece 13 Ghosts. Remember that film?
I used to hunt ghosts with your Uncle Cyrus.
Goats?
And puzzles so abstract, they'll make George Trevor shake in his boots. Now, I'd never heard of White Day, a Labyrinth Named School before, which, for the sake of brevity, I'll just call White Day from here on. I was sitting down ready to blast through my next series of reviews when an email dropped through from PQCUBE offering me a chance to review the PS5 version of White Day. Now, I wasn't sure at first, but then they mentioned 2 words: survival horror. And well, you know I'm a sucker for that. This review I'll detail what works, what doesn't, and I'll try to set your expectation before you choose to give it a shot or not. This review will be spoiler free. The game, in all fairness, has been out for ages, but I imagine there's a lot of people like myself who have never even heard of it before, and I don't want to ruin the experience for you. So let's dive in. I've already laid out the basic premise of the game in terms of entering a school after hours to give a gift to a girl you like, but the plot itself is so much deeper than this. The entire story is guided by your conversations with 3 different characters: So-young, Sung-ah, and Ji-hyun. Every conversation has multiple choices, and they may not seem like much at the time, but the paths you can take and the revelations that can unfold by the end are vastly different. There's 10 different endings for this game, and depending on your choices, you can even switch protagonist away from Hee-min, which completely changes the order of the entire game. These conversations are just one facet though. The detail is filled in via collectibles. Across the different areas of the school, you'll find ghost stories, notes, rumors, and these give you clues. Clues which are essential to find out what to do and where to go next. I played the game through on the normal difficulty. When you begin, you can choose 5 different modes: very easy, easy, normal, hard, and hell. Anything below normal, and the game will give you hints via text message to your phone, but normal and up, it's up to you to figure it out. And god damn is it challenging. I consider myself fairly good at puzzles in survival horror, but this was another level entirely. To solve most of the game, you'll be going in and out of your documents, scouring through to find something that will lead you to the solution. And when you finally find the note that gives you the final piece of a puzzle you've been pondering over for the last 30 minutes, the feeling is unlike any other. It's pure elation. Unfortunately, not all puzzles are created equally. For as great as most of them are, there's a couple which are just badly designed for Western audiences. Take this one I'm showing on screen right now. I stared at this blackboard for eternity. I can see there's a key in the bottom right, but as I can't read or speak Korean, I didn't have a fucking clue what this meant. A couple of puzzles stumped me like this, and I'm not above saying I turned to a spoiler-free guide that told me what I needed to do but didn't give me the answer. Am I proud of it? No, of course not. But I don't put this down to my own stupidity. If anything, it's just poor localization. Now, with 10 different endings to see the full story, you're going to want to replay this time and time again. And with a puzzle game, after a first run, it can lose a lot of its shimmer. In White Day, that's not the case. The puzzles are randomized, so you can't simply memorize every solution. You may know how to solve it, which, granted, is the most difficult part. But you'll still have to turn your brain on. And trust me, this game, you'll need a pen and paper and a bit of substance up there. The puzzles are the backbone to the experience here in White Day, but the flesh and blood is in the ghost stories and the janitor, and these are a mixed bag. To start with the positives, the ghost stories. It turns out this school is riddled with ghosts. The cast of Most Haunted would have a field day. Even Derek Okora could make contact in this place.
Kenneth! Right.
Across the game you'll be jumped, spooked, and generally assaulted by a host of nasties. Some will happen naturally as part of the story, and others you'll have to seek out by reading the ghost stories you've uncovered throughout your exploration of the school. These stories are incredibly well written, and for me, they were the best part of the game. What started as random stories I enjoyed reading morphed into a realization that they were real and I could pursue them. It's kind of like how you enter a haunted house ride knowing you'll be scared, but you do it anyway for the thrill. The ghosts are incredibly varied in both design and scare factor, but I enjoyed every encounter with them. It's a shame then that when you focus on the threat in our realm, in the janitor, it's so underwhelming. Janitors aren't overly scary in real life or in any form of media, so possessed ones didn't exactly put the fear of God into me. They are used as a way to add some tension to exploration. The janitors come armed with a baseball bat and carry a flashlight. They'll patrol the halls searching for anyone too keen to learn after hours.
If it's a nerd, I'm gonna bash his head in. Nerds get nowhere in life. My God, I see a nerd, I can bash some nerds right now.
While you explore, you can enter a room and turn a light on. Now this makes finding objects in the environment much easier than relying on your lighter, but in doing so, janitors will investigate the room, and if you're spotted,
It's clobbering time.
it becomes a cat and mouse game. If you run, you give away your position, so you need to walk, or when you're close to him, crouch to muffle the sound, dipping into classrooms to get around his flashlight. And this is supposed to create the scenario where your moment-to-moment decisions are important, where moving too quickly can cause your downfall. But in reality, it's just super annoying. He knows where you need to go before you do, and so he's positioned to screw your day no matter what. And when you engage in a chase with him, it's as simple as entering a room, turning the light off, and hiding behind any waist-high cover, and you're immediately invisible. I never found him challenging or threatening. He was just a gameplay mechanic front and center. He never felt like a character or an effective stalker, which many horror games in the past have successfully portrayed. He's just there to annoy you. As soon as he's gone, the exploration and puzzle solving are so fun to do. But when you're having to sit in a dark room for 5 minutes as he slowly saunters past, just so you can get behind him, it becomes grating. Now, for those of you that have played the game before on PS4 and are thinking of revisiting the title on PS5, I bet you're wondering what's been included here to warrant another full purchase, as PQCUBE and Sonori haven't included the option to upgrade for free or even a reduced charge. Well, you've got costumes, 30 plus in total, and that's it. They haven't included haptics. From what I can see from the PS4 gameplay that I've watched while writing this, there's no real difference in graphical fidelity, and there's no 3D audio, which is the biggest issue for me, as this would have alleviated the majority of my annoyance with the janitor. Being able to judge distance from you while you're hiding and unable to see him would be crucial information. But no, it's literally just the costumes. Now granted, there is joy to be had with these. but what's your mum gonna think when she walks in on that?
You dirty, dirty bastard.
Now, to finish off this review, it's worth talking about the sound and performances. Hee-min is a silent protagonist. Now that fits with its 2001 launch and isn't too surprising there, but why the hell didn't they include it in the 2015 remake, which this is another version of, is beyond me. There's some shocking stuff that gets revealed here, and to have nothing, not even a gasp or a scream from our boy Hee-min, took me right out of the experience. Fortunately, we do get voice acting from our female leads, but with all three of these, the performances were average at best. In one conversation, a line will be delivered near perfectly, and the next line is like as if it was recorded on separate days with separate direction. The tone is all over the place. I don't know if it's due to my conversational choices, if I switch character loyalty halfway through a sentence somehow, or if it's just badly done. I'm falling in with the latter. Musically, there's not a bad track. It's totally different from any horror game I've played up to this point. It's Eastern horror cinema combined with ambient noise, which comes together to bring the atmosphere of the game to life. It succeeds on every level, and the standouts for me are the main title and the ending themes, both very different but equally memorable. To wrap this review up, White Day is a game which has a cult status, and I can see why. It's not for everyone, but if you enjoy games that invite you in to explore, to seek out scares and to replay time and time again, with each run giving you more insight into the events that transpire across the game, you'll probably enjoy this. For those that want a challenge outside of puzzles, you won't really find that here in any enjoyable form. The janitor, which is a large part of the gameplay, is horrendously implemented, and without any features from the next generation of consoles that could heighten the experience, I can't recommend it to anyone who already owns it on PS4. It's a game which I enjoyed the novelty presented by the experience, but I can't see myself going back to anytime soon. And that's it for this review. If you enjoyed it, put a like on it and consider subscribing for more survival horror reviews. Up next, I'll be working through the Dead Space series, so I look forward to seeing you back here soon. Now, if you've played White Day, I'd love to hear from you. I try to respond to everyone on my channel, so let me know your thoughts on the game in the comments and we can discuss it. Now, if you're still craving a bit more from me, consider checking out my podcast, In PS We Trust. It's a fortnightly PlayStation podcast where me and my co-host discuss the latest news, rumours and hype for all things PlayStation, and I'll have links in the description. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other. See ya.